Brief moment when the life of a man, a father, a husband, a son, a friend, a teammate turns to death. St. Louis Cardinals paid tribute to Darryl Kile, the whole person, Tuesday night, exactly 1 week after he pitched them into first place. Now they're in a place they could have never imagined. Makeshift memorial is sprung up outside of Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Fans leaving remembrances of Darryl Kile's initials, DK, number posted on the outfield wall and displayed on the scoreboard as well. Great baseball town, fans giving their Redbirds a standing ovation. Team will wear a patch honoring Kile the remainder of the season. Owner Bill DeWitt addressing the crowd.
Darryl represented the best of the Cardinal tradition. A fine player with strong character, a great teammate and leader, involved in the community, and a wonderful family man.
All those in attendance observed a 57-second moment of silence for Kile. Team showed a video tribute on the scoreboard, highlights of Kile's career, the family he leaves behind. Wife Flynn, 3 young children. Pitcher Dave Veers knew Kile 14 years. Teammate in Houston and Colorado, certainly an emotional night for him. Another former teammate, Jamie Wright, played with him at the Rockies, is now a Brewer. He was moved as well. Cards and Brewers playing Tuesday, mostly with broken hearts. Time heals, but the baseball schedule is a piece of paper with no patience. Play ball. Cardinals took the field the day after Kile's death, took 24 hours off, and played again Tuesday. There are days when no matter how many millions of dollars a player makes playing baseball, it's not just a game, it's just a job. Cards Brewers, Matt Morris, pitcher Darryl Kile, kind of took under his wing when he got a start there in St. Louis.
See the number 57.
Put 57 on the back of the mound. Top first, it's Alex Sanchez with the deuce, just as Kile would do. Top second, Richie Sexton. He can't hit the bender as well. Bottom 4, Glendon Rush. Quality start here against Albert Pujols. Pujols can swing through strike 3. Rush retired 13 straight batters to start the game. Top 5, Tyler Houston hits one deep. Pujols chasing. That's going to get down. Tyler Houston will double on the play. Houston with a 10-game hit streak. A couple of batters later, Jose Hernandez gets his chance in the box. Single up the middle. Scores Houston from third, and the Brewers are ahead 1-0. Bottom 7, Cardinals down 2-zip. Pujols at the bat. Just looking to strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the night for Albert Pujols. Bottom 9, Glendon Rush still on the mound for the Brewers. Fernando Vina. Back up the middle. Rush. I'll handle that one myself. 1-3 for the putout. Now we got 2 outs in the ninth. Rush facing Pujols one more time, trying to go the route. Liner sinks, but Alex Ochoa is there in time to get out number 27. Brewers winning by a count of 2-0. Cards managed just 4 hits, lose their 4th in a row. As DK put it, we've got work to do, reliever Mike Timlin said. May sound cold, but this is what we do. Second career shutout for Glendon Rush. The other came in June of '98. Morris allowed 2 runs, 6 hits, and 7 innings. Both clubs will participate in a memorial service for Kile on Wednesday at Busch Stadium.
Arizona's Kurt Schilling going for his 13th victory, taking on the Astros and facing Darryl Ward. And Ward swings and misses at a splitter. 1-2 count. Next pitch, another splitter. This time Ward has the measure. That's his 3rd home run, and it's One Love home team. Same inning, Greg Zahn at the plate. Zahn tries to get on top of a fastball, and barrel flies way down to first baseline. The next pitch would be a splitter. Not splitting. Zahn's 1st home run of the year, 3-0 Astros. Schilling's given up 16 homers on the year, only has 13 walks. Speaking of walks, Schilling, top 5, gets walked by Tim Redding. Craig Counsell then with a shot in the left center. Lance Berkman can cover some ground, but not quite that much. RBI triple for Craig Counsell, and it's now 3-2. Astros still in front. Now we move to the bottom of the 8th. Byung-Hyun Kim comes in. Game tied at 3s. Jeff Bagwell at the plate. We're tied. Not anymore. Bagwell, get off me ball. Just absolutely smoked his 12th home run. Kim give up another 2-run shot to Jeff Blum 4 batters later. This is the D-backs' first 3-game losing streak since the first week of the season. Kim had allowed 1 home run all year in 44 1/3. In 1/3 of an inning, he surrenders 2 and sees the ERA jump more than half a run. Jeff Blum had 3 hits in the game.
Won't be eligible to play again until after the All-Star break. Junior re-injured his hamstring running out a double on Sunday. He originally hurt the hammy back on June 7th and missed 10 days. Austin Kearns returns to the roster after a 2-day demotion to Louisville. All of this on top of an 8-game losing streak. But fear not, bring on the Cubbies. Top second, Sean Casey against Matt Clement. Casey driving one deep, and that's going to come back when the fan throws it back. Casey's fourth of the year, 2 zip runs. One Encarnacion, up, man on. Deep to right center. Corey Patterson, Sammy Sosa, they're going to miscommunicate, and down it goes. Adam Dunn scores. 5 zip in favor of the Reds. We'll take another look. Patterson looks like he called it, and then he just didn't do the part where he catches it.
That was a Cameron deal.
There you go. Cool him off. He's red hot. Bottom 6. Bruce Chen facing Roosevelt Brown. Got a 5-2 lead. Look out for the ivy. Look out for a lot of greenery. There's some shrubbery out there. We're just going to give him 2 bases. Joe Girardi stays at third. Can't score. Bruce Chen then strikes out Patterson. We got 2 outs. Chen trying to get out of this jam. Delano DeShields.
So Chen gives up the double. He strikes out the next man.
And Delano DeShields will end your inning. Todd Walker will handle that at second. See that glove down? You saw the button. You like that. Red snap the 8-game slide. They win it by a count of 5-2. Offensive breakout for Cincinnati. 5 runs, their best effort in a dozen games. Luis Pineda, his first big league win. Danny Graves, 22 saves now, 27 chances. The Cubbies stranded an even dozen, 7 of those runners in scoring position. Griffey doesn't play Tuesday. The Reds snap an 8-game losing streak, a streak in which Griffey played in 7 of the games. For whatever reason, the Reds have been better without him this year. 10-16 when he plays, 29-20 when he is not in the lineup still.
About Eric Milton, because, well, frankly, this game sort of turned into some T-ball. Everyone gets to hit. The number on the bottom is more important than the number at the top. First, that was a Paul Konerko single. This is an Aaron Rowan single. Josh Paul, that's a single. You see 3. We're going to keep going from here. Ray Durham, a bloop single, scores 1. It's 2-1 Sox. But again, really, let's keep tabs here. Tony Graffinino, another single. Top of the 3rd. Carlos Lee, this is a home run. No, wait a minute. Too much top spin. It's off the wall. That's a single. Royce Clayton, another single. Who says we only show home runs on SportsCenter? That's Frank Thomas with a single on top of the 5th. Maglio Ordonez, who went 4 for 6. That's a single. Paul Konerko, another single. He was 3 for 4. Top of the 6th, Thomas, another single. We've got 11 singles and counting. Mags again, another single. It is 7-4 now, Sox. Later in the inning, Lee with another single. It's 9-4. Top 7, Royce Clayton past Luis Rivas. Ray Durham with a single off Rivas. Tony Graffinino, single to load the bases. Ordonez, a single. It's 11-5. Top 8, Josh Paul. Another single. Top 9, Ray Durham. This is an infield hit. That's a Metrodome special. It's 19 singles. The record, by the way, 26 by the Milwaukee Brewers in 1992 against Toronto. Graffinino, another single. They had 20 in the ball game, and here we had a Milton-Burley matchup, and the pitching turned out to be the joke. Every single White Sox starter had a hit against Milton, who chucked it 106 times in 4 2/3. Sox, a season-high 23 knocks. 5 different players had 3 or more hits. Maglio, as I mentioned, 4 for 6 with 5 RBI, and as they say up in Minnesota, oh, jeez.
Talk a lot. Oakland, Seattle. Best to get out of the way of the A's. They're a speeding locomotive. James Baldwin going against him. David Justice, linesman to Charles Gibson. Gibson got it. Desi Relaford, you're going to have to hustle back, son. I don't think it's going to happen. Double play there, but A's would get a run scored before the DP was completed. Bottom 4 bases loaded. We're tied at 1. There you see 3 guys on. Tim Hudson, nowhere to put it. Gibson, but, well, ball 4, 2-1, walk in a run. Very next pitch. Hudson to Ichiro. That's going to get away. Wild pitch. Another run trots home. 3-1 Mariners. Bottom 6. Justice. That's a rope. There's Relaford. He's just tall enough. Same thing, only slower on the replay. Still out. Still a tremendous grab by Relaford at second. Top 7. Adam Pyatt giving James Baldwin's offering a ride. Mike Cameron, Gibson out there now. Gibson, both these guys can catch the ball.
Oh.
In this case, Cameron will take it. I got it. So, yeah, there we go. Hey, we're buddies. We got it. Bottom 7, 2 on. Cameron Tater me. It's a 3-run shot. He had 4 RBIs on the night. Don't have to worry about crashing into your teammate out there. You hit it up into the stands. M's lead at 7-1 and win by the same score. The loss snapping the A's 8-game win streak. Just their second setback in 18 games. Baldwin allowing 1 run over 7 innings to win consecutive starts for the first time since winning his first 2 outings of the year. How about Hudson? Dating back to May 24th, it is the first loss by either Hudson, Mulder, or Barry Zito in 15 decisions.
Ludwig facing Scott Schoenweiss. Rangers down 4-1. Ludwig with a blast, but watch the fella in the LSU hat. He makes the grab. He's got the LSU hat. He's got the tat on the bicep. There you go. Woo! Woo!
That's Warren Morris, isn't it?
I'm on Sports Center. All right, he makes a great grab. We'll give him that. But then Ludwig, it's his first homer. He wants the ball, and this guy says no.
Oh,
we'll check.
come on.
We're going to check back. Top 5, Garrett Anderson at the plate. He rips one to first. Todd Green, great play, flips to Ishmael Valdez for the out. Bottom 5, Green makes a good play in the field. And then he comes up and gotta go. And this is just crushed. 431 feet worth of home run. And this is how bald fellas celebrate. I better learn how to do that because that's coming. Kevin Menchuk, 2 on. 7-4 Rangers, 9-4, 10-4 after a 3-run shot off Lou Pote. And Rangers hung a snowman. There's a fella. He gave back the ball and more. Woo! He got a bat. That was good. He gave up the ball, so he got the bat. 11 runs. That matches a season high for Texas. 8-run inning. Largest of the year, 4 home runs in the game. First 8-game winning streak for the Rangers since the summer of '99. Ishmael Valdez gets just his 2nd win in his last 8 starts, and perhaps just as impressively, he struck out David Eckstein to start the game.
Rockies halted Dodgers' 5-game win streak. Money, we move on. Odalis Perez was warm. Larry Walker, well, he got him on the breaking ball. Then he goes with the gas, and for strike 3, how about the hook again? There we go. Perez 6K, smoking 4-0 his last 5 starts. Bottom 1st, John Thompson on the mound. Paul LaDuca. That's going to get him 4 bases. Solo home run, get 1 point for that. Careful for the wall. 1-zip Dodgers. Top 3rd, same score. Bobby Estalella. Right field towards Sean Green. You know, Sean put his glove on the handlebar of his bike when he rode the game on Tuesday. Picks that one just fine, thanks. Top 6.
You got a year to get people a gift, by the way.
Red's working on a no-hitter. Okay, so then
a year.
You got some time, and now you got some ideas. Bobby Estalella, as soon as you say the guy's working on a no-hitter in the 6th, just like that, there's the base hit.
Man.
Blame the editor, not me. Same inning, Estalella in first. Juan Pierre hits the chopper. Cesar Esturras makes a nice play, and then Eric Karras gets Estalella going there, so we got a little 6-3-5 DP. Don't see that very often. Top 8, now 3-0 Dodgers. Juan Uribe, here comes Green again, playing good defense behind his pitcher. Perez 1 hitter through 8. Let's go to the 9. He got the first 2 out. Pierre, little chopper. I got that myself, says Perez. 1-3, hello. 4-0 Dodgers. Perez.
There's a knucklehead on the field.
Well, sorry, we don't want to show that. Perez has 2nd 1-hitter of the season. 2 of them. That matches up what Oral Hershiser did in 1985. The other is Julius Matos facing Russell Ortiz. Little chopper to 3rd. David Bell throws. Jeff Kent on the bag, over the bag, puts the foot back on the bag. Everybody's safe. Missed that, but just, yeah, my bad. Later in the 2nd out, Marcotte with the bases loaded. 2 out knocks make the world go round. Matos, Movasca scored 2 runs. 4-zip San Diego. They make it 5-zip. Now, in between innings, Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent are going to go at it. Right there, captured for all to see. There appears to be screaming. Friction between the 2000-2001 MVPs. Trainer gets in there. Dusty Baker comes in. Eventually, they get that thing simmered down, and Barry gets angry with the ball and focuses in the top of the 3rd. Just comes on out and pops a home run. His 25th, 69th in his career against the Padres. Watch afterwards. Nothing but love right there. So it appeared, huh? At least it was a manly, pleasant tapping of the fist. Top 6, Jeff Kent. Well, he's got one off Kevin Pickford as well. His 11th makes it 5-4. The Pods blew a 5-0 lead. Giants got up 7-5. Now it's 7-7. There's Matos again. Dropped one there off Felix Rodriguez. Shinjo's throw. Not going to get Debbie Cruz. And David Cruz with the go-ahead run of 8-7. They go on to win it by a count of 10-7. Trevor Hoffman gets the final 4 outs. This time, he does save the win. Took the loss on Monday. Felix Rodriguez faced 5 batters and retired none of them. Game took 3 hours, 33 minutes. An hour 2 of that when the teams each batted around in the 7th. Bonds, number 592. Kent gets his long knock as well, but it's not kisses in the clubhouse, according to the skipper.
You saw it happen. Guys, sometime it happens. I mean, this is the time of year when it's getting long, and sometimes things happen. I ain't gonna tell you exactly what happened because nobody's business.
5 games, he is appealing. Top 1, Omar Vizquel up at the plate. Fly ball to right, Trot Nixon not trotting. He's running and diving, and that's a great grab, robbing Vizquel of extra bases. Jim Thome played golf with Grady Little, former Cleveland bench coach, and Thome in a 4-for-30 slump decides to bust him off a chunk. Crushes Castillo to center. That's his 20th homer. 3-0 Indians. Bottom 1, Manny's first at bat. Takes Danny Baez to right, but that ends the first. Top 6, Einar Diaz up. Runner off with a pitch, and Diaz waits on the breaking ball to shallow center. Johnny Damon on his horse. A great grab, throws to first. Double play. Bottom 8 now, Manny at the plate. Sox down 4-2. Paul Shuey on, full count, single for Manny. Trying to get something started, and something was cooking. Later in the 8th, with 1 out, Brian Dahlbach comes up to pinch hit with a bases loaded. This one goes 3-6-3. Indians still holding on to that 4-2 lead. Bottom 9, Nomar at the dish. Manny hoping for another chance. Nomar gives him that chance. Takes Bob Wickman up the middle. Tying runs are aboard. Manny represents the winning run. Wickman said Manny chased a bad pitch. Manny got himself out. Tonight, I didn't get him out. Manny goes 1 for 5 in the comeback. Back to Jim Thome. He had 3 Ks in this game. That's 18 strikeouts in his last 11 games. But, Jim, I'd rather light a candle than curse your darkness. This is his 9th consecutive 20-homer season. That's club record. Boston's dropped 4 in a row. Frank Castillo not digging his digs. He's 1-5 at Fenway this year, 5-12 in his career. Yankees-Orioles fans still across the street at Pickles, firing back a couple of natty bays. And Alfonso Soriano takes Sidney Ponce's second pitch out of the yard. That's his 18th home run of the season. That ties a career high, and they've got a few more games to play. Yankees trailing in the 3rd, 2-1. No longer. Derek Jeter with his 10th. These fellas hit home runs by the bunches. We're tied up at 2. Bottom 7, we're now tied at 3. Andy Pettit pitching. Brian Roberts. I got a friend named Brian Roberts. Not this one.
Okay.
He just got married. It's a different guy. Congratulations on your marriage, bro. Melvin Mora.
That their gift?
That's a gift. That's a lot cheaper. A little shout out on
silverware or
Sports Center.
something.
Yeah, you know. They're registered somewhere. We've got men on 1st and 3rd.
He's setting a
Pettit
China,
out.
maybe?
Let me continue. Pettit pulled from the game. Ramiro Mendoza.
Candlesticks are always nice.
Jerry Hairston, he got a shout out. That's just going to be. That's a suicide squeeze, and nobody's covering
could
first.
frame the
Joe
invitation.
Torre, he says the Orioles are an energetic, upstart team. I'm trying to focus on my shot sheet, please. Soriano now at second base. He represents the tying run. Mike Bordick gives him a look, then catches Jeter barely. For the second out of the inning now, Jason Giambi cannot bring home Soriano. He grounds out to Hairston. Yankees drop this one 4-3. Hargrove said he didn't want to squeeze, but he said, I try to manage the talent I have, and he's doing a nice job with his club. The Orioles have now won 3 in a row. Jorge Julio, he's Hargrove's closer. He's saved 16. You can make it 118 homers for the boys from the Bronx. 2 more in this one. Andy Pettit gets the loss. He's still 8-2 at Camden Yards. Greg Maddux, strained left calf. More dugout dilemmas. We've got Roberto Alomar and Roger Cedeno and a spat in the dugout. Bottom 1, Alomar. Take that, Mr. Cedeno and Albie Lopez. Alomar's 6th of the year. The Mets out quickly to a 1-0 lead. They needed this game. Bottom 5, Mets up 5-0, and Piazza takes one in the right center off Kerry Lightenberg. Andrew Jones makes a great effort, as he always does. Doesn't get it. Timo Perez, Edgardo Alfonso come in to score. Mets lead by a touchdown. Got this one in the bank because Steve Traxel, perfect through 5. Javi Lopez, well, he ruins it. Yeah, you talk about it, and then there you go. Perfect game, shutout, all gone. Still 7-1. Traxel would leave with a blister, and then things got a little bit dicey. Here comes Chipper. Bases loaded. Bobby Jones gets Chipper to fly out to shallow right. That was 1 out. 2 batters later, Armando Benitez after Jeremy gloves it. Armando Benitez tells Javi Lopez, you messed up my man's no-hitter. I'm giving you the gas face. Inning over, threat over. Top 9, and Armando always makes it interesting. 3-2 pitch. Gary Sheffield strikes out. That's it, and that's all. Look at Piazza. Thank God. Priceless reaction there. The Mets end Atlanta's 6-game winning streak and their own 5-game losing streak against the Braves. Steve Traxel, the first pitcher to be perfect through 5 in consecutive starts since Doyle Alexander of the Yankees back in the summer of '76.
Bottom third, tied at 1. Robert Person dealing to the pitcher, A.J. Burnett. Well, Person hit 2 out in the game. Burnett shows him what it feels like. His first of the year. It's 2-1, the Marlins lead. Let's skip to the top of the 9th. There it was, 5-4, man on. Vladimir Nunez faces Bobby Abreu. That's Bobby, part of a 3-for-5 night. Little seeing eye single. Tied at 5. Jimmy Rollins scores his 4th run of the game. That's career high. Bottom 11, fills up 7-6. Larry Bowe talks to Dan Please and says, walk Preston Wilson. Marlins got nobody else on their bench except a pitcher, Michael Tejera. All righty. Tejera gets up there, and well, Plesac kind of blows his doors off. Just like that, Phil's win at 7-6. Plesac has his first save of deemed score panel worthy. Top first, Vernon Wells, bases loaded. Double starts the merry-go-round. Eric Hinsky will score. Carlos Delgado will score. And the Jays are up 3-0, and they're just getting started. Top second, it's 4-1 out. Jose Cruz Jr. trying to match Wells. Couple on. That's going to get over there inside the first base bag. Shannon Stewart scores. Jays up 5-1. Double for Cruz. Now Cruz going to homer, going the other way. His 10th of the season. And the Blue Jays are up 9-3. Let's go to the 6th. It's 12-7. Wells, time for the home. Oh, boy, that was major spankage there. Wells, 2-run homer, his 9th. Jays up 14-7. Top 8, Jays 16-8. Cruz Jr. up Doug Creek, needing the triple. He's not going to get it. Lousy, stinking double. Carlos Delgado. That's a 3-run jack. He had 5 RBIs. So now the Blue Jays are up 20-8.
Sure.
20. It's many runs. 2 batters later, Vernon Wells. He needs the triple for the cycle. Oh, and Judd punched him out. Can't believe that. Jays win at 20-11. First time the Jays have hit for 20 runs since June of '78 when they dropped 2 dozen on the Oreo.
I remember that game.
2 dozen. Jose Cruz Jr. 6 RBIs. Delgado 5. Vernon Wells 4. Everybody had a hit. 8 of the 9 starters scored at least twice. Shannon Stewart touched the plate 5 times. Gotten into these Blue Jays. Before last Saturday, they were cruising along, scoring just less than 3 runs a game. In their last 3 contests, 35 runs. They match the output in their previous dozen games. The batting average resembles the weight of an offensive lineman. Big, 315.
Luis Pujols, he manages the Tigers. Tony Pena manages the Royals. First-time managers from the Dominican manage against one another. So Bud Selig and the president from the Dominican Republic come on down and throw out first pitches. Population, salsa merengue, 8 million in the Dominican. You got 81, John Anderson, I wish you could see him, he was dancing. You got 81 players from the Dominican in the major leagues, and we've got 8 players in the 2 teams involved in this game. And then wouldn't you know it, Raul Ibanez. He's from New York. That's a home run. He had doubled and tripled. He'd be intentionally walked. No cycle. Royals win the game 8-6.
You sold it good, though.
Thank you. Spose Pirates. Top 1, no score, 1 on. Strike him out, throw him out. Chris Benson with a K, looking for his first win since 2000. Jason Kendall gets Brad Wilkerson out. Bottom 5, Pirates up 2-0, 2 on, 2 out. Kevin Young to Fernando Tatis. This is nicely ruled a hit and an error. KY had his 6th career 4-hit game. That was a hit, by the way. Top 6, Expos down 4-1. Tatis a chance to redeem himself. Instead, with the sacks full, Aramis Ramirez steps on 3rd, throws to 1st. 6-game losing streak for the Pirates is over. They turn 5 double plays. Triple header for your baseball viewing pleasure Wednesday. We kick it off at 2 p.m. Eastern. Cubs play host to the Red